Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode. Hopefully, exciting, educational anyway, episode of the David Hittle Real Estate Show. I am your host, as always. I am David Hittle, Realtor with United Real Estate Louisville, and I will do my best to keep it as short as possible. I know this day is important for many people for many reasons. For me, it's important because it's Sunday, it's 2 o'clock, which means it's time for me to do another show, which I love because I get to inform my watchers, my listeners, about what is happening in today's real estate market, which is important to me, should be important to you. Hopefully, if you're here anyway, it is something that is important to you. Another reason it is an important day is because today is the Super Bowl. Can you believe they chose this day of all days? Today is Super Bowl day. And if I have been keeping up with that accurately, we have the Bengals versus the Rams. So we have a Bengal Tiger versus a Ram. So if we're talking just food chain, I'm pretty sure the Bengal tiger could eat the ram, but we will have to see what happens out on the football field um, between the Bengals and the Rams. Today is also an important day because it's the day before Valentine's Day. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So, if you haven't found your Valentine yet, here's the service that I provide. Let's go out and see some homes tomorrow. And maybe you can fall in love with your next home and just drag the Valentine along later on. Anyway, either way, let's get going today. If you saw the thumbnail for today's episode, it is all about whether this year, 2022, the other past years have been crazy. If 2022 is the year that you break up with renting, and as you know, if you are a renter, rents have been skyrocketing for decades. Now, if you haven't been renting for decades, you might not know that rents are skyrocketing for decades. They just might be going up every single year that you have been renting, but rents have been rising aggressively for decades. The median asking rent since 1990 has been on an upward trajectory since that time. The good thing that you can do here is you can break up with renting. Break up with them. Save you some money, get you a good credit score, save you some money, and let's buy a home. Home buyers can lock in a set monthly payment. No more rising rents, no more rising payments just to live in your home. A home buyer can lock in a set monthly payment for 15 to 30 years. So instead of every year your rent's going up, you can own your home and have a set monthly payment. Renters also have a substantially lower net worth because a person's net worth is their home. For a good majority of people, your net worth is your home's equity. So, for most people, the most expensive thing you will ever purchase is a home. So, therefore, it is your most valuable asset and also your net worth builder. The average household net worth for a renter is just $6,270. $6,270. But for a homeowner, the average net worth today is $255,000. So there's a big difference there when it comes to renting versus owning a home. So when you buy a home, not only does your monthly payment stay the same for 15 to 30 years, but your monthly payments also build equity, which is a kind of forced savings. You have to pay your monthly mortgage payment anyway, but when you do, you're paying down what you owe and the value of your home is going up. And that difference is your equity. So the average homeowner has $255,000 in net worth, most of which comes from that home. Finally, owning a home gives you more flexibility. So when you're renting an apartment or you're renting a house, they may not appreciate you painting the walls red, or they may not appreciate you painting the walls UK blue. But when you own your own home, you can make those design changes and upgrades whenever you feel like it. Renters have limited options to customize their space, while homeowners can make those design changes and upgrades anytime they want. And 63% of renters said that the reason for buying their own home was so that they had the flexibility to do what they want in their own space. So that is huge. Again, renting versus owning is huge. And all of the statistics are showing it. I talked about this last week that 666 of the 1,154 U.S. counties analyzed reported that owning a median priced home is more affordable than renting the average three-bedroom property. So, in 58% of U.S. counties across the country, owning a home is more affordable than renting that same type of home. And of course, here in Louisville, the average rental price is $1,065. And I equated that if you were looking to purchase a home with an FHA loan with your down payment, you would be looking at around $155,000 home. That is a nice home. I can find you a home for $155,000. So let's do it together. Another thing we have to uh, take into account is that we're in a seller's market right now. We're in a seller's market. And what that means is that it is better for sellers in this market than home buyers. And that's only because of inventory. There's not enough inventory on the market here in Louisville to satisfy the home buyer demand that we have right now. But there's still a way that home buyers can win in a seller's market. And there's four things that will help you win if you're a home buyer in a seller's market. Number one is you have to build your team. You have to build your team, and that starts with your realtor. And I am a realtor. I am a real estate professional, have been since June of 2019, and I would be happy to assist you with your next home purchase. That is why I'm here. That's why I do this. The next person in your team has got to be your lender, a home lender or housing lender. They call them loan officers or loan originators, but it's basically your mortgage company. And that can be your bank. You can go to your bank and ask for uh, a pre-approval, or you can go to a home lender. If you connect with me, I can point you in the right direction to great lenders that I work with frequently who will be able to help you get the pre-approval and the budget necessary for your next home purchase. And last but not least is your title company. The title company is important because every title company charges different fees. So again, if you work with me, I know what these fees are. I have worked with clients at various title companies around the city and around the area, and I can point you in a great direction there as well. Other members of your team will be people like your home inspector. I know those people too. So, having a team and building your team around you, people that you can throw ideas off of, and people who can help you make sure you are making the right move, the right investment, that is one thing that will help you win in today's seller's market. Another thing is you have to make strategic plays. You need to be careful with your budget. When you go to your lender, if you don't give your lender a number that you have in mind for your budget, then the lender is going to look at your information and determine what you can afford. Now, lenders do not want you to have more than a 50% debt to income ratio. What that means is they do not want your monthly expenses being more than 50% of your monthly income. So that can be a way bigger number than you had in your mind. Me, myself, I don't want anything above a 25% debt to income ratio because if something goes wrong, I want to be able to afford my home on whatever I can do. So I prefer 25, but that number is completely up to you. Your lender will tell you what the maximum amount that you can afford is. And with that number, you can be strategic about your budget. So you need to be careful with your budget planning and down payment savings because a $200,000 number is going to have more of a down payment requirement than a $150,000 number. So you need to keep that into account. And if you have any questions, contact your lender or your realtor. Both of those individuals can calculate what your monthly mortgage payment could should be on whatever amount you are looking at. You need to also number 3 is you need to also consider what's in bounds and what's out of bounds. So you need to figure out if you want to stay in the same area that you currently live or if you want to branch out into new communities. Make a list of neighborhoods that you'd like to live in. And that is great and helpful information for your realtor so that instead of just sending you hundreds of homes to look at, we can narrow that down to precisely what you are looking at and what you are looking for. That is helpful to us. Narrow it down. And finally, be ready for the competition. So we have seen over the past few months now that the market is starting to slow just a bit. There is not as many multiple offer situations going on as there were last summer. There are not as many buyers paying way over list price anymore like there was last summer, but you still need to be ready for that uh, for that possibility. So getting pre-approved, that tells you your numbers, tells you your budget, tells your realtor your budget, as well as showing sellers that you are a serious and qualified buyer. And number two is leaning on your team's expertise. So when it comes to me as part of the team, I am the realtor. I am there to show you homes. I am there to tell you what I believe the value of the home uh, is or should be. I'm there to tell you if there are what your property taxes could be on this property. I'm there to tell you information about the home, the neighborhood, the market, just like I'm doing here every Sunday on the David Hittle Real Estate Show. Your lender, on the other hand, they're the financial people. If you have a question about finances, down payment, home loans, they're the people you can talk to. And we, as realtors, know a little bit about that, but they are the professional. They are the ones that deal with the money on a daily basis. Your title company, they're there to examine the title once we have an offer submitted, accepted, and we're heading for closing. They're the ones that are making sure that the owner of the home is actually the owner of the home and that there's nobody else in the lineage or in the genealogy that may also have uh, interest in the home, so to speak. So, those four things can help a home buyer today win in a seller's market. So, there are many things you can do online nowadays. You can search for your next home online. You can see homes online. You can see pictures of homes. They do virtual tours online nowadays. You have access to a multitude of things online nowadays. But the one thing that you don't have access to when you're just looking online is the expertise of a realtor. Yes, you can go and get data, you can get Zestimates, you can get estimates of what a home's value is, but unless you work with a realtor, someone who's bound by the code of ethics at the National Association of Realtors, then you are on the wrong track. So please visit my website, shopkentuckyhomes.com. And on that website, you can get a hold of me. You can also search for your next home. You can also get your current home's value. All in all, my website tries to encompass everything that you can do online, as well as being a linchpin to be able to get a hold of me in the event that you have questions. So please feel free, visit my website, shopkentuckyhomes.com. Again, you will want to see everything that you can do on that website. So last night, I want to talk about fact versus fiction when it comes to buying a home, and then I'll let you guys get to the bowl game. Fact versus fiction when it comes to home buying. This is important to understand because if you believe something that is false, then you may make a decision, an uninformed decision. And my job is to try to get you to make as informed of a decision as possible. So, fiction is that you should wait for mortgage rates to drop. Well, I'm going to tell you, unfortunately, the mortgage rate droppage game is over. We had 3 straight weeks of around 3.55% over the past 3 weeks. This week it jumped up to 3.65. I predict we may see between 4 and 5% interest rates before we get to the end of the year. Those are scary predictions. Those are predictions that are going to harm the ability for some home buyers to purchase a home, but I would rather have you informed than to have you in the dark. So the days of mortgage rates dropping for the conceivable future is over. Fiction, there are no houses on the market. It is true there are fewer homes on the market today than there were in the summer. However, there are still over 1,000 homes available for sale here in Louisville. If we add Lexington and the surrounding areas out there with Louisville, there's over 3,000 homes on the market. And then if we also add Northern Kentucky to that mix, up near the Cincinnati area, then you're talking over 4,000 homes on the market today. So there are homes on the market, and with fewer homes on the market, it means there is less competition between sellers. But because of the season that we're in, because of winter, there's less competition with home buyers. So today may be the day to purchase a home rather than waiting to spring when it starts to warm up and more home buyers actually get out and start looking for their next home. Every home is selling for way more than asking price. Again, I told you earlier that is starting to slip off. We're starting to see less of that. Yes, we are seeing still above list price offers being made, but it is getting more and more rare. Most of the offers that I'm putting in today are at list price if the home is worth that. But we are not seeing as many homes selling way above that list price, and that is helpful for the home buyer. So again, please visit my website, shopkentuckyhomes.com. On there, you can research the neighborhoods that you prefer. You can research the markets that you prefer. You can research the areas, look at prices, look at homes that are available. Look at everything on there. You can also get your home's value via my website, shopkentuckyhomes.com. But that is important. It is important to stay informed about what is happening. And I hope that you come and you listen to this show every Sunday in order to stay informed about what is happening in today's market, because it is important to stay ahead of the game rather than being behind the curve and not knowing what is happening. So, for everyone here, this is David Hittle with United Real Estate Louisville. I thank you all for watching. Enjoy the Bengals versus the Rams tonight. We will see what happens and whether a Bengal Tiger can beat a Ram on the football field. Until next Sunday, I thank you all for watching. Have a great night and stay informed about what is happening in your area. This is David Hittle. Have a great day.